series of monthly videos to feature our musicians of color. I am Paul Austin, president of ICSOM and a horn player in the Grand Rapids Symphony. I am pleased to say that today's guest is also a member of the Grand Rapids Symphony, violinist Haijin Choi.
Hello.
Hi, Haijin. Haijin was born in South Korea. She received her musical training at the Seoul Conservatory and Northwestern University and was a member of the Chicago Civic Orchestra. She's been my colleague in the Grand Rapids Symphony for 20 years and currently is our orchestra committee chair. Over the years, I've had the pleasure of performing chamber music with Haijin, including masterworks by Brahms, Mozart, Schubert, and Strauss. With Grand Rapids having been the location of last summer's ICSOM conference, we thought it was a perfect time to feature a Grand Rapids Symphony musician. So welcome, Haijin.
Thank you for having me today.
It's our pleasure. Really looking forward to asking you these 5 questions to get to know you.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, question number 1. Do you recall the first time that you heard an orchestra? Tell us about it.
When you asked that question, I wasn't sure if I remembered like first sound of orchestra, but I think it's the Italian film composer Ennio Morricone. His music, when I was growing up when I was little, 1970s, late 70s, um, every weekend at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., there's a movie show on TV, and they all like opening music was his music, and so I remember his music. Da, 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 and whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, what is this? And also another my experience, I think, is I started playing the violin from our school program. I started with piano when I was around 6, 5, 6, and then 7 when I was in first grade. My mom decided I should play the violin from the school program. So I learned pretty quickly. I wouldn't say I was like prodigy or anything, but it just felt somewhat easy. So by the time I was second grade in the orchestra, most of them were like fifth, sixth grade student. But I got to play in the orchestra, and then we all played the Schubert's Military March by memory. So we practiced it over and over and over. So I still remember all the like violin sound that's not so great. But it was such a great experience to play like sort of small symphony music by memory with all the kids. So that was fantastic.
It sounds like a great first memory.
Yes.
Well, listen, the next question you slightly answered. I was going to ask of all the instruments, what led you to the violin? It sounds like your mother led you to the violin.
My mom picked the violin. I never thought about it. But eventually I had to decide just one instrument because the private lesson was getting a little more expensive for my mom. And so she asked me to pick just one instrument. That was when I was third grade. And I was sort of stuck in the Bach two-voice invention. I was not good at playing fugue with both hands. I was so stuck, and my mom asked me to pick one instrument. I was so happy that I play violin for sure. No question about this. So half I picked the instrument.
Well, I'm glad that you had some say in picking the violin. That's great.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that was easy
Good,
choice for me.
good, good.
Yeah.
So listen, our next question, was there an aha moment when you knew that you wanted to become a professional musician?
Professional orchestra musician, right?
Yes.
So when I was in high school, I went to this special high school, Seoul Arts High School, and they pick very highly qualified music students, dance students, and visual arts students. And our first concert was there's a concerto competition, and then the first winner plays all the one movement to concerto, and so the orchestra itself didn't get to play big symphony, but we accompanied Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto number 2, third movement, and that was a very incredible experience for me. The excitement and the orchestration made me just so fascinated by the orchestra music. So I was more interested in orchestra music. But I think the final touch was when I was studying at Northwestern. my teacher, I still go visit him and take lessons in this age. But he's a Chicago Symphony member, and I was really impressed by the way he was approaching orchestra music. Like before, I didn't take it super seriously, but then I realized that how much work you have to put into on daily basis. You have to study the score. You have to really learn how to listen to each other. And that just impressed me so much, the craftsmanship, and I really wanted to execute it that way myself. And so I was like, I'm going to take orchestra auditions.
That's really, really nice. The power of a teacher. That's really something.
Yes, yes.
Well, listen, together we performed in the Grand Rapids Symphony so many concerts over the past 20 years together, but is there a special concert that you will always remember?
There are a few. The first one I think is, so her now married name is Lisa Ritter. She was my first student when I moved to Grand Rapids. She was an amazing student, and she was in part of the Grand Rapids Symphony Youth Orchestra. And so we had this side by side concert on the stage, and I asked the education department person to let me sit with her. So we were playing together, and in the middle of concert, her bow just broke. It popped, and we were just staring at each other. And I just let her use my bow, because what is she gonna do? Just sit there by herself, like not playing? So that's always something very memorable. Um, the concerts I played with Larry Radcliffe, who just passed away, the musical integrity and his care for the music and musicians I will remember for the rest of my life. Yes, those are very memorable.
That's really great. I love that you had a story about your teacher from the Chicago Symphony, and then your memorable moment included you in the role of teacher. That's really and it was nice that we had Larry Radcliffe as a music advisor for Grand Rapids Symphony when we were between conductors or between music directors.
Yes.
Those are nice memories.
Yes.
We do have a final question, though. If today's Haijin Choi could give a piece of advice to herself during her student days, what would
I thought about it. That's a very good question. I think I would like to tell myself that it's gonna be okay. As long as you're willing to get up every time you fall, it's gonna be all okay. When I was in teens and 20s, I wanted to be in 40s so badly. I just couldn't handle the uncertainty of life, ups and downs. So I was thinking, oh, when I'm in 40s, it's gonna be so nice. Like it's gonna be all like stable, and I like the rest of the life is gonna be just like peaceful and nice. But nobody told me that it never ends. Like challenge constantly comes up. But at the same time, I really enjoy how to figure out those issues or even create my own thing instead of just sitting down and complain about situations or so I think I would like to tell any teenagers or young students, musicians, it feels like it's too much, but it all passes at some point, and you will not regret that you dealt with all the challenges with your passion.
it's going to be okay. That's great.
Yes, it's going to be okay.
Well, those are our questions, but just final thoughts. If you have anything you want to share that I haven't asked that you'd like for our followers to know.
Do you have anything that you personally want to know about me?
It's only 5 questions, so I can't ask more.
I just realized that it's important to connect with people more than ever. And so I think it's important to say hello to even random people. I run quite a bit. I love running outside. Even if it's like freezing cold, I would rather run in really cold weather than hot weather. So I just say hi to everybody, just smile and hello. And I know how when somebody just say hi to me, it just kind of like softens my mind and relaxes me. And I think that's a small gesture we can always do. And I feel like I plant a seed every day to cultivate connection. I think that's very important. And I'm hoping that people, when we go outside and meet other people, we have that in our heart always.
That's a very nice final thought. Thank you so much, Haijin. And with that, we wrap up our conversation with ICSOM musician Haijin Choi. Haijin, thank you so much for sitting down today with ICSOM so that we can get to know you a little better.
Thank you so much for having me.